This video is going to cover an AI agent that does contract analysis. I've been working on this for quite some time. So in this video, I'm going to go through the outline of how to set this up so that you get the best output, the best analysis, and the report formatted in the way that you want it, or at least in the way that's easiest to read, digest, and understand and be able to take action. So starting with the role here, this is an agent that in my case is going to be reviewing contracts that are related to corporate law, estate planning, property, mergers and acquisitions. And I also wanted to be skilled and be able to have the capacity to review all kinds of business documents, not just contracts or legal agreements. So the objective is I wanted to intake a contract or an agreement, review it, analyze it, and be able to provide an outline of the key findings, any red flags, any conflicts of interest, anything that doesn't line up or would possibly make the contract invalid or unenforceable. So that's what we're mainly pursuing in our objective here from an analysis standpoint. In our standard operating procedure, I have these listed in bullets here because this is what we want our agent to perform. These are basically our steps. We want our agent to perform each step independently. So once this is complete, then move on to the second step, then the third step, fourth step, so on and so forth. So first thing we want to do is access the document, and this is where we need to plug in the tool that we want our agent to utilize in the performance of this step. So access the document using Google Doc API request. Then in second step, we want to identify problematic clauses, highlight sections that contain legal terms, inconsistencies, and potential risks. Based on those findings, those problematic clauses, then we want to recommend amendments to those problematic sections. After we complete that, we want our agent to do a risk assessment, evaluate, whether this is a high-level risk, mid-level, or low-level, and we want it to give it a grade or on a scale of 1 to 10. And then we want to have an executive summary, highlight the total risk exposure, top 3 critical issues. This will be in sort of an outline section or an intro section of the report. This is a step that we want to make sure we include reference to in this part of the generation process or the analysis. So final deliverable format, we want to use Google Docs, create a document from text. So once our agent is done performing each of these steps, then our step in the creation of the report is going to take the text generated from these steps, plugged in to create a professionally formatted Google Doc containing the complete analysis. We want clear section headings and subheadings, and we want properly formatted bullet points and numbered lists where applicable. We want spacing to be appropriate. We want to have a risk impact matrix also with the formatting, and then a detailed analysis and a professional font. This is the format that we want the subject matter in. And then once we have this complete, then we're going to use another tool. This step in our SOP is to then use Gmail to send an email attaching the document in an email, notifying me that the analysis and report is complete and it can be accessed through the link provided in the email. And we also, in the generation of this email, we want to give it an email format and just kind of give it a guideline of how to structure the email. And then as a final reference point here, it's good to give the agent an example of the output that you're looking for and the general format that you're looking for and how it should organize all of the subject matter that we're discussing up here. And so that in the final part of our instructions is where we give that example of our format output that we're looking for. So critical risk, moderate, low risk, and how that scoring lines up. And then for each of the issues, give it a risk grade, probability assessment, impact, and this is like all the detail that we want to plug in to that report. And then we want to show an example of the order, the structure, the spacing, how we have each subsection or each key item laid out and its subsections categorized, organized, so on and so forth. And so this will serve as a guide to our agent, produces our Google Doc in accordance with the format we give it. Another way to do this would be to just give it a copy or a link to a Google Doc that has the formatting already done so that it can open it and refer to it in its generation of the new Google document. And so once we have all of this complete, what we can do is we can go over here and test it. I'll show you what the test looks like. And right now it's testing a sample trigger because our trigger is a form submission through Zapier interfaces, because this is what is going to set in motion this standard operating procedure so that this agent will just start performing this role and these responsibilities when this happens. So this is a full-on AI agent employee that is doing work for you. I'm going to start by retrieving the contract document for analysis. First step is to provide a thorough legal review. So it's going to open the link that was provided. So this is the example document that it's analyzing for us because it was provided in a URL. So it used a web fetching tool to open that document and review the data. And then it says, I'm going to create a detailed contract analysis with the risk assessment, recommendations, and executive summary, which it's referring to over here in these steps. So right now it's doing that as we speak. It's preparing that document for us in accordance with these steps and also the format that we laid out here and the formatting of how we want those details to be presented to us, along with ensuring that our Google Doc aligns with this example. And so here is a summary of the completed action that it did for us and the final output. And once it completed that, then it goes into our Gmail and sets up an email for us. And here is a preview of what that looks like. So it sent it to me, subject, created a subject line, and the body, which aligns with how we instructed our email format over here.